The reality is in technology is that very, very large tech companies have a certain shelf life. And you can look at something like IBM, which was an amazing company from literally the 1920s into the 1990s, like unbelievable amount of time, right? And so I think there is real fear at places like Facebook that, you know, they're very tied into a certain thing, and it's not unprecedented for their time to come. And so I think what he did with the meta change and all that is partly a real recognition, you know, that the time potentially is coming.
Yeah, I mean, look at AOL and Yahoo. They were just such huge footprints in the industry, and then AOL and Yahoo essentially, you know, for all intents and purposes, don't exist to most consumers as actual brands. They still have a billion users between them, you know, going to their various sites, but So
just to be clear, Jason, when we say the time is coming, it's because the blockchain and the way that we've taken that sort of intellectual property of the blockchain and now started to apply it to things like smart objects is allowing for a distributed internet to appear that's two-way, that doesn't require a platform to authenticate. So the reason these platforms exploded between 2005 and now is because the internet was essentially a one-way thing. Like Internet 1.0 was you go fetch that web page, but the person giving you that web page doesn't really get anything in return for that. It wasn't a two-way system. In the platform ecosystem, you're no longer really fetching a web page. You're fetching a Facebook post, and it's in the Facebook ecosystem. It is two-way in the limited way that Facebook can make it two-way, and Facebook can then be like taking a toll on that whole two-way reality. Now, with the blockchain situation, it can become two-way and distributed. And then you kind of wonder, well, once that happens, who wants to be locked into a platform?
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if all of the tweets in the world or photos on Instagram are just on a blockchain somewhere, you just kind of like dip your bucket into this flowing data on some network and you just take a big scoop of, you know, here's a bunch of photos about Hawaii, and they're not on anybody's particular server. They're on all servers.
Well, what you're getting at, I think, Jason, is like, this other big strategic challenge with NFTs and the blockchain, which is if what you say is true, then one of the big challenges is the user experience to kind of make sense of all this stuff for everyday people and have it appear in an easy, digestible way. It's different than building the underlying infrastructure of wallets and the blockchain, Like, okay, great, that's hard and it's being done. But now there's this other next layer of hardness. It's kind of like what Apple tried to solve with the personal computer, very similar, which is how do you take this underlying tech and make it approachable for everyday people? That's what we're trying to do at Ready Games. That's what we're so interested in, is to say, look, this is something anyone can use or do. And that's why the phone is such an important point of entry right now, because that is the most casual computing device that we have in our hands.
Yeah, and it's quite possibly going to become the repository of your assets. Like it's going to be your wallet. It already is to a certain extent. I started paying. You could sort of see it on your watch or on your, I don't know if you use Apple Pay on your watch, but at some point I was like, oh, I have Apple Pay set up and I have an Apple credit card. I said yes to that. And I can just, so I started using an Apple Watch again. And I was like, oh, when I'm in Italy, I can just bang this against the little thing and get my gelato. Like this is incredible. I don't have to take my wallet out. And that's what this NFTs are going to do, right? You're going to just have these things stored on your wallet or on some provider app.
There's another really cool thing they do for kids, which is totally overlooked, which is worth just unpacking for a minute. So I have two children. You have a child. Three now, sorry. And my oldest is 14. I think yours are even younger than mine. And so we all face the same thing as parents, which is kids on social media. You know, they want to go on TikTok. They want to go on Insta.
No way.
And you're like, no way. And I'm like, no way. But why do we say no way? And the answer is because they have to be who they are. The financial model Zuck put on all of us was you have to be you. So you have to be you at the age of 9, at the age of 12.
Right.
Well, that's super toxic. So we say to all those people, don't do it. The Facebook files that the Wall Street Journal released had really scary information about how Facebook knows how bad this is for kids. But the core of why it's bad is that it's the kid's real identity. That's that Internet 2.0 platform reality. So imagine for kids in Internet 3, you can create any identity you want. You can look like anything. If you're a boy, you can be a girl. If you're a girl, you can be a boy. If you can be non-binary, you can change the tone of your voice. You can actually create a persona. You can create a whole social graph with other personas.
You can be a hamburger.
You can be
an
object. So you can start to participate in some of the most fun aspects of digital culture as a kid without getting necessarily the rejection that comes from literally, like, how do you look at the age of 12? Oh, you look ugly.
Do you look like a supermodel or not? Are you an Adonis or not? Yeah.
Sick,
do you have a photo? It's demented. It's like, do you have like some photo? Do you have some Photoshop team taking your kids' photos and airbrushing them before they put it online like the Kardashians do? Like
exactly. So now in Internet 3, all that stuff can happen by forging your own identity. And then what's so cool is as you build your assets and create your identity, you own them. Like you can actually own them as the creator. Now, they may not be worth anything down the road, or they could be worth something, but at the end of the day, they can never be taken away from you, the way Facebook could theoretically take away your profile.
Before we get into the ad, I want you to go to linkedin.com/twist and post your first job for free. Just do that right now. First job posting free. LinkedIn.com/twist. Okay, now on to the ad read. Today, many small business owners are busier than ever. Time spent searching for and interviewing the wrong candidates takes away from growing your business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs has made it easier to get the candidates worth interviewing, and you're going to get those candidates faster. And your first job posting is free. In just minutes, you can post a job on LinkedIn and reach the world's largest professional network, which is now over 770 million people. Wow, they're going to hit 1 billion soon. You can use screening questions to get your role in front of only the most qualified people. Then you can quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. We love LinkedIn Jobs at launch, and in 2021, we hired a third producer, a curriculum designer, and a couple more researchers. And we're still hiring, and LinkedIn Jobs gets it done for us. I love the product. So LinkedIn Jobs helps find you the right candidates worth interviewing faster. Every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn, and you can post your job for free at linkedin.com/twist. That's linkedin.com/twist to post your first job for free. Terms and conditions, of course, apply because they're giving you something for free.